This means everything to me right now as a Toronto Raptors fan. As Ochai Agbaji struggled in his last game, was called out by Darko Rajaković, and he came back, received the message, and was dominant tonight. And Darko continued to develop guys through Jacoby Walter and as a starter, and he looked phenomenal. Jamison Battle, off the bench for this team after not playing a ton a couple games ago, is looking like a sniper once again. And we continue to see the ascent of RJ Barrett, having a really strong game on the road, right? There's a little weird stats happening right now with RJ Barrett's road versus home splits, but on this one, yes, the New Orleans Pelicans are just a depleted team. They had some guys coming back, but as we all know, as Toronto Raptors fans, when you're going to have guys returning from injury, we're seeing it with Scottie Barnes, we're seeing it with different guys, not Jacoby Walter, but we're seeing with different players when they return from injury, it takes them a few games. So again, it's not the most dominant, toughest of opponents, the New Orleans Pelicans, with the team that they have currently assembled, but still, these are games that you have to relish as a Toronto Raptors fan, because not only did we win, that is what it is. I know there's the Cooper flag downers that want to see this team lose every time, and that's why I'm content. That's my saving grace if we do lose games, but I still just love watching this Toronto Raptors team win. But more importantly, I love seeing the young guys just really these are moments, over young players' careers they can look at and say, build them confidence, build up their energy, build up just their, future for this team. And we saw it tonight for Walter, for Battle, for so many guys out there on this team, as well as Ochai Agbaji. So we're going to dive into all of that in this video. But folks, again, you guys have been crushing it, hitting the like button as of late. Make sure, if you like what you saw from the Toronto Raptors in tonight's game, if you're amped up as I am, make sure you guys hit that like button, even if you're not, because I appreciate all the likes. It helps the video on the channels. But, I digress. I am very amped up. And the first thing that we do have to talk about is, Ochai Agbaji, who, if you're not familiar with the story, I made a video on it yesterday, I don't know what day, but Darko Rajaković called him out after the Raptors' last game against the Pistons because Ochai Agbaji didn't score. He only had 1 rebound, 1 assist, and regardless how you're shooting, how you're scoring, Darko said only 1 rebound. That's not enough effort. That's not enough energy for a guy that's, out there to be an on-ball pest, to be a defender, to get boards, to do all that type of stuff. And obviously, the offense is developing. But, Darko directly came out. Head coach Darko Rajaković in his development form. We're going to talk about Darko because he's pulling the strings really well to develop this young team. But he came out and said, Ochai Agbaji, you have to be better. You have to step up. And tonight, holy smokes, did Ochai Agbaji step up. 9 of 10. Shooting from the field, 6 of 7 from the 3-point line, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. So the rebounds got up too, because I know Darko was looking for that. 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and just an all-around phenomenal performance for Ochai Agbaji. Efficient, knocking down his threes, and just looking like a prime Klay Thompson, looking like, I don't know, even though there's a comparison to what we saw Ochai Agbaji do tonight, because, again, 28 minutes, 24 points, just the message was received. Message sent, message received. Ochai Agbaji really stepped up and did phenomenal. And that's one thing that's a testament to Darko Rajaković, because, again, on losses, I've seen people criticize, substitution patterns at times. I've seen people criticize, oh, why are you drawing up that play? Why are you making RJ Barrett shoot these types of shots? That is what it is. And that's going to come, with reps as a coach and do different stuff and all that. But the focus, the main job for Darko Rajaković right now in year 1 of a rebuild, as they've called it here in Toronto, is develop the young players. Build up good vibes, build up good energy, but make sure you are developing these young players. And, having a call out that's respectful, it's not passive aggressive like Nick Nurse used to do. Again, I'm a big Nick Nurse fan, but obviously, there was not a great relationship he had with the young players. He called out his player directly assertive, hey, we think you're awesome, we think you're phenomenal, you got to be better. And he immediately came out and was better here tonight. He couldn't have wrote a better story. So great stuff there in terms of development and stepping up for our Ochai Agbaji. But there are so many storylines that we do have to get into. And one of them is the return of Jacoby Walter, who tonight got the start. And Jacoby Walter, I've said the entire time, is a guy that I really like the shots he's taking. I like the confidence. I like just how fluid his jump shot looks in these games, how he's playing. And tonight just looked very solid. Running the point guard, being that sort of wing player. Obviously, Scottie is sometimes the de facto point guard. Positions are just all over the place, depending on what outlet you look at and how they're sort of reported. But Jacoby Walter tonight, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. And I like the decision of putting him out there as a starter because, again, young guys coming in, Jacoby Walter, there's so many wing players out there on this team. You look at it and you say, hey, that's going to be tough for me to get my run. And he's dealt with injuries during training camp. He hasn't really gotten an opportunity to get a feel for the game, to come out and really, get in the flow of what he's able to do. And when you're thrown in as a starter, you're getting a ton of minutes. You're going to get obviously and still got 28 tonight, but things could go bad and you don't get that run. But Jakob Poeltl, the coach gave him the blessing, gave him the confidence to go out there and put in the starting lineup. And again, these are the invaluable things that Darko Rajaković is doing as a coach right now to develop these young guys, build up their confidence. And yes, Jakob Poeltl missed some shots. It's 2 of 10 from the 3-point line, but still got to see the ball go down. Got to see the ball go through the net a bunch of times in this game, and that's going to be huge. Whether he's starting or coming off the bench now with Gradey Dick out of the lineup, obviously different guys out there in Immanuel Quickley out for this team, but Jakob Poeltl being out there in the starting unit was a great decision by Darko Rajaković, and I just like how he played. I just like how Jakob Poeltl plays, and again, that efficiency is going to go up the more reps he gets and the more stuff that's going on. So again, phenomenal stuff there for Darko, masterclass out there in terms of development, but again, we'll talk about the league, guys, but Jamison Battle. I'm 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 50 seconds into this video, and I haven't brought up Jamison Battle, who, especially in the second half, he had some shots early, but this dude is an NBA player. He was undrafted. He was, barely an unknown name out there on our summer league team, and then made a name for himself, got put onto the main roster, and then there was a bunch of debate about whether or not he'd be on the roster, whether or not he wouldn't be. And then Bruno Fernando got the final roster spot. We're all like, oh, what's going on? And then, Masai shocks everyone and cuts Carlson and then puts Jamison Battle in. And at that two-way position, Jamison Battle is an NBA player. Masai Ujiri locked this man up for a long-term contract. Get him in there. As a second-round pick, get him on a multi-year deal. Because, again, his three-point shooting, it's been a little bit cold as of late. But then you see nights like tonight where this guy, 9 of 11 from the field, 6 of 8 from the three-point line, 24 points for Jamison Battle, 3 assists, doing things out there. I just love the energy and love the, there's so many three-point shooters that get in their own heads and do different stuff, but Jamison Battle just has such a quick release. He always lets it fly, and he has sneaky sort of size. I won't accuse him of being the most, not that all NBA players are athletic, but the craziest lateral movement speed and stuff there. But he hustles on defense. He brings the energy. He does a lot of stuff, and man, he is just ready to shoot. He gets in the right positions, get in the right place. I mean, he had 3 assists in this game too. Like, shout out Jamison Battle, man, because again, a couple games ago, we started, not that he fell out of the rotation, but I think he was in single-digit minutes. It was noticeable that with players returning to the lineup, Jamison Battle didn't get a ton of run. I'm like, hopefully this man is able to stay. Obviously got some games in the 905, and now we see him have a crazy efficient night like this. So, great stuff out there. 3-point shooting. Jamison Battle and Ochai Agbaji were just ridiculous out there shooting that 3 ball, right? Knocking down shots for this team. And I also want to give a little shout out because this might get overlooked, over discussed. But obviously I'm a Shed head here. The Shed heads unite. Come out there if you're a Shed head. Let us know in the comment section down below. But Jamal Shead, him and Davion Mitchell's minutes have been slowly going down as of late a little bit, even though, they're good facilitators and stuff. But Jamal Shead's been quietly knocking down some threes lately, especially from corners in different spots. I mean, tonight, 8 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, or 2 steals, goodness gracious, 1 rebound. And I'm just liking what I'm seeing from Jamal Shead. I think him and Mobo hit a little bit of a rookie wall, right? They were getting a ton of run with all the injuries that were happening. The other teams figured out the scouting reports on these guys, but now with the other teams, bringing more of a defensive focus. They understand who they are as basketball players now at this point. I think they're doing a good job at adjusting and just putting on really solid rookie seasons, especially for second-round picks. So, again, Shedheads unite. We're getting that rocket, but, that's... We're this deep into a video, and then we haven't talked about our top 2 guys, in Scottie Barnes, in RJ Barrett. And I'll talk about RJ first because, again, he continues his ascent as a star out here in the NBA. There's some concerns about his play on the road, and obviously the Pelicans aren't a phenomenal team right now with all the injuries they've sustained. But, out there in New Orleans, right, RJ Barrett really had himself a game. 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. And these are the nights we're just kind of getting used to from RJ Barrett. Like, this feels like, it's just your average day at the office for RJ Barrett, which is great to see. A lot of those 3-point shots from Battle, from Ochai Agbaji were fed from RJ Barrett, getting paint touches, getting shots, those passes out. So that was great to see. Shout out to RJ Barrett, like, loving what I'm seeing there from RJ. Scottie Barnes was clearly off tonight. The 3-point shot's going to come back when you're returning from injury. You have 5 turnovers in this one still, but again, was a plus 33 for this game. Had 17 points, had 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. Like, it's a bad Scottie game, but still was very effective. Didn't affect losing and stuff like that there. So, great stuff on that front. Jakob Poeltl didn't really need to do much with how well other teams are shooting. I'd be Darko Rajaković. The game plan of this one was to let it fly from 3, no matter if you're hot, cold, whatever's going on. And they, some players are really hot, some players are cold, and, we live with it. Boucher didn't have the greatest game tonight, but, dealt with, just some missed shots, decent looks, whatever. Jonathan Mobo, solid off the bench. I live for this. I live for this team. The young players just developing and playing well, and Darko Rajaković getting most of the squad. So very happy with what I saw tonight. Again, the Cooper flag, folks, we want to still, we don't want to build a horrible culture here in Toronto and lose every game and do that stuff for just, incremental odds that's a little bit higher to get Cooper flag. That's not what I'm vibing with. I'm happy we're getting these wins. I'm happy we get these big W's and keep competitive, stay in close games and get that stuff rocketed. So feeling good, loving what's happening here for this Toronto Raptors team. Again, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. I mean, you made this far. You made 10 minutes, 30 seconds out here on a Pelicans postgame. Hit that subscribe button, folks. What are you doing here? Anyways, I'm signing out.